Let's pray. Lord, thank you in this new year for the reminder of how good you are, and that your mercies are new every morning, and that we can start fresh each and every day and each and every year. Lord, we know that you're here because you're everywhere all the time, and we ask you to be here with us in this meeting in a special way, that you would give wisdom to the council members, that you would give words to share with those who speak. Give us ears to hear each other, and be full of your kindness and gentleness in the way that we speak, and at the same time full of your truth and the things that we're able to share. Lord, we're so grateful for the opportunity to live in a community like this, and help us never to forget that it's a blessing from your hand. And so we take it as such, and we commit this day, this meeting, this community to you, in your name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I now call the regular city council meeting to order, and I entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 4-0. Public forum limited to agenda items only. Does anyone wish to address the council regarding the agenda items? There being none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
And second?
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion, questions? There being none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 4-0. Number 7, appreciation of counselor service to Susan Gray. Boy,
I know.
this is gonna take a while.
It's kind of embarrassing.
Well, thank you, Susan, for your service. I know everyone wishes you well on your retirement or whatever it is you're gonna do.
Continued service.
Come see us.
I figured you'd be playing the song, Take This Job and Shove It.
No.
Okay. Well, to start off with, Susan Gray became a Marion City Councilor on April 23rd of 2018. Today is her last day, January 10th of 2022. In a day and age in which public service become a calling that has fallen in prestige from the political challenges at a national level, we are extremely fortunate to have citizens like Susan to serve as servants of the public. In April of 2018, she stepped forward to serve her friends and neighbors in the community in a very public way by volunteering to fill the unexpired term of then Vice Mayor Melissa Merriman. Thankfully, she has never looked back on this decision to serve and to assist our community in the effort to move forward and during culturally challenging time. Under her stewardship and leadership, the governing body of the city of Marion has brought tremendous advancements to our community and to the municipal team. A list of these are some of the major accomplishments during her tenure has been the water line replacement project, including the upgrades to the historic water tower, the Cobblestein housing addition with KHRC funding closing assistance incentive program, the downtown revitalization project, including the mill and overlay of 256 highway in the city limits, the airport land acquisition and improvement grants from KDOT Aviation, the 12.5 electrical upgrade financing package and solar array in cooperation with Kansas Power Pool, the Elm Street Luda Creek Steamback Stabilization Project, upgrade to the municipal fleet and equipment for enhances in law enforcement, fire protection, public works, and public utilities operations, upgrade and facility enhancements in our public parks, enhanced medical insurance company for municipal workers while controlling costs to taxpayers, restoring financial stability and fiscal responsibility as evidenced in recent municipal audit. During the challenges of the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, Susan brought amazing experiences and insights to the challenges head based on her many years of experience in the medical field. Her wisdom was invaluable to the council decision process as the health safety mandates were implemented. As a testament to her resilience and humorous nature and her leadership style, all of these contributions were made to the community while she maintained a smile and laugh while dealing with great community debates of chickens, ducks, silage, and towers. You never know what you're going to listen to. Please join me in wishing Councilor Gray the best of success in all of her future endeavors and thanking her for coming for the tremendous legacy and service and successes she is leaving for our community for generations to come. Let's give her a hand. Don't necessarily be a stranger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Number 8, swearing in of Councilor-elect Mr. Collins.
Okay, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Zachary Collett,
I, Zachary Collett,
do solemnly swear
that
I will support the Constitution
I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Kansas,
and the Constitution of the State of Kansas,
and faithfully discharge
the
duties of council member
duties of council member
of the City of Marion.
of the City of Marion.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Okay, this is yours. Sign on that one.
Yeah.
I'll take cupcakes.
Okay, I guess we're down to number 9, health insurance coverage renewal with Blue Cross Blue Shield. We have a-
Well, I apologize, Kelly Lister, our representative, has been informed she has to go into COVID protocol and is unable to come down this evening. So, Tiffany and I have been working with her on the renewal. We wanted to take a few minutes and go over it with you and ask for your approval on this. As you're aware, earlier this year, we worked with the Kansas Municipal Insurance Trust and tried to launch a municipal pool. And at that time, we were looking at a 30+% increase for us to switch to that coverage. We've met with Blue Cross Blue Shield, and our grandfathered plan is quoted at 0.4% decrease in premium cost. So it maintains all of our coverages that we've had for our employees over the last 5 years. It continues the deductible levels we had, all of the coverages in place, including dental for our employee, and it'll cost the city, not a lot, but $148 less a year to maintain this insurance. And we're asking council this evening, our recommendation is to approve the renewal with Blue Cross and Blue Shield for the medical insurance, the dental insurance, and the supplemental life insurance, which is a $15,000 basic policy that the city's provided for our employees, basically to cover death expenses.
Although if we moved to KMET program, we would have had a 30% increase instead of a small decrease, so.
That's
That's
correct.
good. Any questions, council? Entertain motion to approve. Second?
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 4-0. Approval, number 10, approval of EBH invoice dated January 3rd, 2022, and water line project.
We're in phases of all of this project where we got multiple financing funding sources. We've already closed out our CDBG grant, and the audit's been completed on that function. To move to the final loan closeout and amendment, which is scheduled for your next meeting on the 24th, we needed to clean up all of the engineering invoices and any other related expenses. So you have two invoices this evening. The first one is for the period ending December, during the year.
25th.
25th, okay? And so that's the invoice dated January 3rd, in the amount of $16,105.44. It was primarily the final field inspection on that particular phase. And then the second invoice is from January 6th, which is completing all of the as-built plans and uploading to our GIS mapping system, a current map of the project, as well as updating all of the old plans, or old system improvements that have been made. And that invoice is at $17,066.02.
Do you have any comments you want to make?
Yeah, I do want to just mention that, as far as what Roger talked about on the GIS, we have completed, everything's uploaded into the GIS, all the new system, it's all up in there. What we're working on right now is getting all the old system that we didn't replace uploaded. So once we're done with that, it's gonna be a complete water system map. We're also going through and tagging on with that, we're getting access for the electrical to be updated also, because that project occurs. So we've tried to create, this project gave you the benefit of creating that baseline mapping, that now we can add all these other stuff too, so that once we're done with all this, we're gonna have a much better overall mapping system that's much more accessible out in the field. So,
Okay. Any questions?
Is that on a computer then?
well, we have it stored, it's actually stored up in the ArcView cloud, okay? But it's accessible, even the guys out in the field just on their phones. Anybody that we give access to via a login will have access to pull it up on a tablet, a phone, a computer, or any other source. So it's not just, it's not just for us, it's not just in our system, it's gonna be accessible by anybody the city deems necessary.
I didn't know it was on a bunch of pages or.
No, we can print it out on paper if somebody would so choose, but it's much more interactive. Cause they'll be able to pull up a map of the city. If they wanna see just water lines, you turn on the water lines. If you wanna see electrical, you can turn on just electrical. And you see all of them in one little area, you can zoom in and show all the utilities.
And EVH has already completed the layers on the map. It has our zoning on it, it has all the streets on it, as we do and so forth. It's constantly updated.
Okay. Any other questions? I move to approve EVH engineering final invoice in the amount of $17,066.52. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion?
I'll be abstaining.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. That's where you abstain. Now you abstain.
I'm abstaining.
We'll get you right. Motion carries 4-0. Abstention goes with the majority. Number 11, approval of final EVH invoice dated January 6, 2022.
I apologize, we have the other invoice in the amount of $16,105.44, which was the December bill. We need to have that approved as well.
Okay. Any questions?
Yeah, it wasn't on the electronic,
Right.
that was the change that I had to send outside.
Okay. Any questions from the council? I move to approve, final EVH invoice dated January 6th, 2022. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign.
abstaining.
Motion carries 4-0. Abstention goes with the majority. Number 12, approval of KDHE drawdown number 13.
And to basically pay for what we just approved. We're drawing it against the, line of credit with, the KDHE, the revolving loan fund. These are all qualified expenses for that. So we're asking for your approval on a $33,181.46, which we anticipate being the final draw against the loan. And then at the next council meeting, we should be able to hold the public hearing and adopt the loan agreement amendment.
Okay, any questions? Also move to approve KDHE drawdown number 13. Do I hear a second? Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign.
I don't want to, but I,
Okay. Motion carries 4-0. Number 13, resolution 2201, conditional use permit for 1404 Commercial Drive. Margot, I think you're up.
Are you okay if I sit here? I've got all these papers. Are you okay? I'm sure you can hear me. I'm a very loud voice. The Planning Commission has sent a recommendation to you, first of all, for a daycare located out on the highway, in the old, Tracy Copper building at 1404 Commercial. I believe you got the information in your packet. They are recommending approval of this because it does meet all the conditions necessary for a conditional use permit. And I did give you those pages in your packet. That's A through N that they meet. And they will also be following all state and county licensing requirements, which frankly are more strict than what we have. So it kind of eliminates our concern on that.
Okay.
If you have questions, I'd be glad to answer them.
What would a daycare typically be zoned as?
Well, I actually have not found it in any of the zones.
Right.
It is allowed for under conditional use
Yeah.
permit. And daycare centers and preschools, provided all state and county licensing requirements are met. But it really doesn't matter where it's in a residential area or not, there still would have to come get the conditional use permit.
Any other questions from the council? I would move to approve resolution 22-01, conditional use permit for 1404 commercial.
I second.
Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 4-0. Number 14, resolution 22-02, conditional use permit for 318 East Main.
Okay, this one, the Planning Commission is recommending is not approved or denied. It is not called for in our regs. It actually calls for second floor only residences on Main Street, in that business district. So that was their recommendation to you. I believe I gave you where it says under the central business district overlay, residence constructed on second or higher story of building is allowed. They had some concerns under the conditions of a conditional use permit. I called those out, in your packet. They talked about the integrity of the various zones, protection against fire, prevention of overcrowding, and invasion of inappropriate uses were mainly what they were looking at. Now, I will remind you, I also included actions by your board with these recommendations. On this, you may either, agree with their recommendation, disagree, or send it back.
Okay. Any questions?
I do move to approve resolution 22-02A denying the conditional use permit for 318 East Main, requesting a first floor apartment in the Central Business District.
I'll second that. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 4-0.
Thank you. I would like to mention too, they were concerned about setting a precedent on that one.
Okay.
Other than that, I did put the final draft of the parking regulations in your packet. The way with, deadlines with, holidays and such, and we meet early, the way the calendar falls, we will have a public hearing on this at our February meeting.
Okay.
So if there's anything else, please let me know, and otherwise we'll proceed forward with that.
You know, Margot, I just might add, I know I saw the list that you had on there that had a lot of bare rock. You know, that's gonna be pretty tough to tackle that issue.
Okay, I think there's a lot of misunderstanding in that. What
Is
they're
there?
saying is, in each district, it allows so many parking spots for square footage of the building. And if the building just requires 6 paved parking lots, the rest of it can be gravel. I think there's a lot of misunderstanding with that.
What was that last part you said, if it requires 6, what'd you say?
I said the other can be whatever.
Yes, they really struggled with this, because we've got business owners that, it's not inexpensive, we all know that. So, they finally settled on, you look at the district that your property is in and what's required, those you need to,
Hard surface,
yes, and then the rest,
can be whatever.
you can gravel. They use the hardware store a lot as an example, how they paved up close and then they gravelled out.
But you figure that there's the square footage, and it's only allowed like so many parking places per square foot, per 1,000 square foot. And I'm sure if you count the spaces out there, they're in conformity.
Yeah, I
It's
don't
a
know.
misunderstanding of the zoning law. I mean, that's when we really get disrespect for, but it is what it is. Like taco place up here, they just paved part of the lot, not the whole thing, but they paved what was required in that district for his square footage.
Okay, number 15, ordinance 1484, CMB exception for J.R. Roger?
Okay. At the last city council meeting, let's see, Josie here. She had requested of council that she could have an ordinance passed exempting her property from the distance requirements or our liquor consumption. And basically the part that she was wanting exempted was the 300 feet from doorway of the church to the doorway of the building. So 1484's been drafted to present to you all. I would have hoped that she would have been here tonight to explain more of what she was desiring to do. What she explained to staff is that her desire is to be able to open the rear door of her structure, which abuts to the city alley right away, and be able to have her patrons partake and consume outside of that back door. That's what we shared with staff. We don't have any further than that.
I thought the last time we heard this, that she wanted us to fix the alley.
And that's all I
That's what
heard.
she was interested in. I didn't hear anything about serving beer in the middle of the alley, just.
No,
Yeah, that's
no.
fine.
I didn't hear anything about selling beer in the middle of the alley, which belongs to the city, and I don't think you can do that.
We should not.
No, absolutely not. And, is this a beginning of a tavern? I thought it was a, western store.
That's how it was portrayed to council when the original request came through for the cereal malt beverage license. Was that she wanted to be able to give her patrons a beer while they were being fed.
Well, and maybe I misunderstood the night that we passed that. I thought, I wasn't aware that she was gonna charge
I
for
wasn't
beer.
either.
I thought it was gonna be, hey, come in, buy a pair of boots, if you want a beer, I'll give you a beer. But, I don't know, maybe I misunderstood where she was going that night. That's my feelings about it.
I kinda misunderstood too, so therefore, I move to deny the approval of ordinance 1484 exempting 308 East Main J.R. Hatters from restrictions related to sales of consumption of alcohol and cereal malt beverages.
I second.
Move second, any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye, those opposed, same sign.
Mr. Mayor,
Carries 4-0, yes.
along the same line, I move to instruct the chief of police to review compliance with the provisions of the Marion City Code, Article 2, cereal malt beverage for the property located at 308 East Main. DBA as J.R. Hatter and Branding Bar.
That's the name of it now.
Well, that's what Regress said. But I think it needs to be investigated because it's not all good discussion.
Okay, I'm gonna make sure I understand what your motion is.
Okay.
To take the license away from her?
Well, is to look at suspending it until everything's brought up to code. She's against violations, she's violating city codes, zoning regulations, and state statutes. So I'd like the chief to investigate it.
So she needs a conditional use permit? If that's what she wants.
She has to have a conditional use permit, yes.
What's the procedure in that, Marlo?
For a tavern,
General
Okay, but the
commercial,
motion on the floor this evening,
thank you, Roger.
within our city code, under cereal malt beverages or liquor consumption, we have a specific